Good morning, I'm here at Northgate School today and I want to talk to you about interventions. Are you taking children out of PE lessons to do English and maths interventions or other curriculum interventions during the school day? I hope the answer is no, but sadly we experience this quite a bit at our schools, and I actually ran a survey on my own personal social media to see what parents' views on this would be, and actually it was quite overwhelming that over 75% of parents would have been unhappy if they knew that their children were taken out for these interventions. A parent actually messaged me privately to say that they raised this query with their class teacher, especially at the moment during the pandemic, that they didn't want their child taken out for these interventions, and that has subsequently stopped, which is fantastic. I've got a personal experience of this over the last month, where I was covering for a member of staff at one of our schools. 2 lessons in the afternoon. The first one was fine, went really well. The class were in the lesson for the whole hour, active for the whole hour, so no problems there. However, the second lesson started to take place. I won't say what year group, I won't say what school. The class started arriving in drips and drabs, sort of 10-15 minutes late to the lesson, so they'd already lost that as part of their hour lesson. And they were arriving in 2s and 3s, which as a teacher, you know is difficult, especially when you've got the children into groups. It can be quite problematic, but I'm experienced enough to deal with that, and that wasn't the main issue. I was more upset that the children weren't getting their full hour. So they'd already lost that 10-15 minutes. Some children were arriving even later than that. And then what happened was some of the same children, the last ones into the lesson, were being taken out for interventions during the lesson. So you're taking another 10 minutes off for a reading intervention. So you're already down to about half an hour for these children to be active. And what really topped it off, and I came away quite frustrated, was that a boy came out with 5 minutes to go of the lesson because he had to finish his science work. He wasn't allowed out until he had done that. And it was almost that PE was quite low on the school's values, that they could use it as a punishment to make him do his science work. And this boy was devastated that I was actually wrapping up the lesson, the equipment was being collected in, and he'd missed the whole of the PE lesson. Now I don't know this boy, but it might have been the only chance that he gets to be active that day or even that week during his PE lesson. So I would love for schools to stop doing this. There's no data, there's no science to say that this helps. In fact, the opposite is true, that if children are active and healthy during the school day, or they're active during the school year, their attainment results, their attention, their focus in class is going to be better. They're going to be happier. The endorphins will be going around in their brains. They'll learn better. They'll be more productive in the class. So why don't we flip this? Why don't we start doing physically active interventions? Now you might think, well, I'm contradicting myself by saying, well, don't have English and maths interventions, but have physical activity interventions, but I'm not. I want this to happen within an English lesson. It's not that you're taking them out so that they're learning something in PE. It's to help with that English lesson. Let's think of that English lesson 9 until 10 in the morning, doing phonics, doing maths, whatever it might be, rather than grinding it out for a whole 45 minutes or whole hour. Why don't you break that lesson up? 20 minutes, 25 minutes in, get them active for 5 minutes. There's loads of videos on YouTube, get them outside, just get them to do a minute of star jumps and then go back into your learning. Finland have been doing this since the 1960s, and the data there proves that it works. The children are more attentive after a learning break, they concentrate better, and they are one of the leading countries in terms of how their school system is viewed. So start implementing some brain breaks, stop bringing children out of PE to do English and maths interventions. There is no data that backs up that this works.